The Walking Dead has gone from successful comic book series to hit TV show to a rather excellent point-and-click adventure game. So does this new FPS survival instinct continue this streak of success?
Nothing can be done now.
In Survival Instinct, you play as Daryl Dickson, the crossbow-wielding badass from the TV show. Things kick off right from the start of the zombie apocalypse.
Sadly, there's not much story more than that to talk about. I mean, I'll throw in a spoiler warning here, I guess. Basically, you just head off to track down your brother Merle, you find him, then lose him again, and then finally you find him.
Them people locked me up for days in the dark with all them abominations.
It's totally devoid of that unpredictable plot and storytelling and characterization that the series is so well known for.
You stay put. You just slow me down right now.
They've got the actual actors in to voice the characters, which is always a tick, but to be honest, they don't have that much to work with.
Stay here.
What?
So what we're left with at the end of the day is a shallow and clunky shooter, but it still has some good ideas if poorly executed.
There's a solid attempt at a focus on resource management and scavenging, so it gets that survival horror element quite right. Ammo and health are scarce and zombies are everywhere, so you'll need to hunt down precious fuel to continue on your journey.
It's such a shame that the combat isn't more fun. Using guns is basically a death sentence because zombies will just pour in from nowhere. So your best option is to shove every zombie back, then run behind them for a quick execution. And that does get old pretty quickly.
There are some one-hit kill melee options you get later on, but they're slow and he should just be much better with his knife. It does make the prospect of fighting more than a few at a time seem almost impossible though, and that's how it should be.
Yeah, and it can get pretty scary, but that's mostly because you're just surrounded by all of these zombies doing that mini game, and they're very considerate though. They will politely wait for you to finish with one before moving on to the next one.
Yeah, very considerate. This is trying to be a stealth game, really with a focus on distracting zombies and slipping by, but it's usually much more effective just to run through them and close a door in their face.
Things do pick up once you find the crossbow, but it is weird that they leave out his signature weapon for half of the game. And while we're talking about signature things, where was his bike? It's just so well known for this character to be riding a bike, and it's weird that this whole game is a road trip essentially, and you never see it.
Yeah, I guess it's because during missions you're constantly running into other survivors and other vehicles that you can use. And each car has a certain number of spots for extra inventory items and passengers, so you'll have to leave someone behind if you have too many survivors. It's an interesting idea, but there's also zero emotional impact for making a big life or death decision like this. There's no sobbing plea for you to reconsider or angry shouts from the survivors as you leave them behind. It's simply a choice you make in a menu and then move on.
Let me come with you. Believe me, I will pull my weight.
Death by menu. I also found it a bit weird that even though I'm in a car which only has one spare seat and I've got a passenger in it, when I find Merle, he somehow manages to fit in the car. I just think it would have been much cooler to be in the front of a convoy on my bike while all the survivors are trailing behind me.
Yeah, but as you travel, you do have to decide which road to take. Do you choose the highway and save fuel but miss out on scavenging opportunities and have a greater chance of breaking down? Or do you take the slower back streets? You'll use more fuel but find more gear and won't break down as much.
I don't know what to say about it.
Then don't. Leave it be.
You can also send out any survivors you have with you out on scavenging runs to look for fuel, food or ammo at the start of missions. And you can help them out by giving them weapons, and having more survivors in their group will improve their chances. But their chances often aren't good, so you're likely just throwing a weapon away if you give one to them. And again, there just isn't much impact if anything does go wrong for them. They either just don't show up at the car or they do show up as a zombie and you stab them anyway and move on.
There's not much else to the game, really. There is some replay value with modifiers such as being able to have the crossbow from the start or infinite ammo or different paths you can take, but I don't think many people would actually want to replay this game.
Well, we all know licensed titles often face tight budgets and production schedules, and I know it's not fair to compare this to a big AAA title, but sadly that's what it's going up against. I think there are some good ideas here, but it feels like they really didn't have the time or money to bring them to life, so I'm giving it 6.
I feel like saying only die-hard fans would enjoy this, but I actually think they would be the most disappointed because there isn't that much Walking Dead in this game. I'm going to give it 5.